Greetings, everyone. Good time zone to you. Welcome. We are going to jump into a Ravnica Allegiance draft today. We voted on it again, and after yesterday's quasi-landslide for Theros, today was a quasi-landslide for Ravnica, so I will draft whatever in this case. I don't always offer up the ranked draft format, but I'm a reasonable fan of Ravnica Allegiance. I think you want it in doses. I wouldn't want this to be my all-timer. This is not, we're doing nothing but this, but if you like especially a control-y type matchup, this Allegiance on Arena specifically, bot draft Allegiance has a lot of Esper, so it ends up being heavily Esper control-y, and I like that. The gameplay is fun. The games can be pretty grindy, but they're thought-intensive and decision-intensive, and are expressive of what I love about this game in terms of challenging me to solve puzzles turn after turn. Effectively, that's what games are, little puzzles we give ourselves. And this is, Ravnica Allegiance is a puzzle I like. One of the easiest puzzles in Magic, though, is where to go to get the best value for your dollar when you're looking for physical Magic stuff. And I got the answer for you. It's cardkingdom.com, and you can check them out via my affiliate link down below in the panels. That lets them know you got there from here, helps my stream. And you're going to find everything you need for your physical game at cardkingdom.com, whether it's sealed products, singles, or supplies, but also their buy list. Oh my goodness, their buy list. Basically, if I give you one place, seriously, if I had to no-look sell my collection to somewhere, it would be Card Kingdom. You're just going to get the most value for your cards from Card Kingdom, and on average, and so make sure you incorporate them in your selling checks as well, and they'll take care of you there. All right, let's jump in here. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Well, I like me some Esper, but Zagana here is pretty bomby. I'll get out of your way, too. I know I'm in your way. 1 second. Just getting my audio fixed. There we go. So, we got Zagana here in the rare slot. We tried Simic last time. It didn't go so well, but I liked the deck. There was nothing wrong with the deck. It just didn't work out for us. Magic does that sometimes. So we could grab Zagana and hedge towards that possibility. Trollbred is single color and is similarly powerful, really. This may be a little bit more so, but adapt 4 here versus adapt 3 mana to adapt 2 versus the 6 mana to adapt 4. That half cost is pretty significant here. And it's single color, so we can go a lot of different directions with it. If we wanted to lean into my color preferences, we would take maybe an Orzhov Enforcer, Chillbringer, Blade Juggler. These are the cards that go into the decks I love the most in the format right now. We've got Krauser redeeming sleeves. Good to know, Krauser. Let me know if you have a memory of our sleeves. You can tell me now, and I can try to remember. But stick around; we'll take care of that. Well, Harv, I gotta tell you. So here's a coronavirus joke for you. About 5 or 6 days ago, when my son was still facing the reality of what the coronavirus was asking of him, they had canceled school, right? Like they're like, school's out for the next 6 weeks or whatever. And the next day, he's like, my friends and I want to go to the mall. I'm like, you understand that they just closed school and now you're asking me to go to the mall? And then I'm like, actually, that's probably like the safest place in the world for you to go. Yeah, go ahead. No, I didn't. I did not let him go to the mall, but I did make that mall joke. All right, I'm going to take Zagana. She's too powerful. I don't want to be led down the Simic path, really. But it's hard to pass Zagana. I think she's good enough to take. Gatebreaker Ram to follow the Zagana pick. We have a Blade Juggler or a Slimebind as other picks that jump out at me as strong in the pack. But probably, given this start, we can take a Gatebreaker Ram, another deck that continues to be open enough in this format is the Gates Matter deck and Gatebreaker Ram. The uncommon payoffs when you get them early are worth building around, and really Zagana could end up being splashable as well. I'm going to take Gatebreaker Ram, but I'm kind of sad to see my my Esper cards sliding by. Arrester's Admonition. Again, you know, this is how we end up sticking with our colors. I've been thinking a lot about this because, you know, ostensibly, like Luis and others will tell you, you know, we should only be in, you know, our first pick colors 40% of the time or whatever, because ostensibly, if all color pairs are distributed evenly, then every deck has 40% to be a given color. So there, ostensibly, you should only be in your first pick color 40% of the time, and yet we all end up in our first pick color way more than 40% of the time, right? But the thing is, it's correct, because it's on some levels, Zagana does appropriately adjust your pick order. You know, if we had, like, imagine that our first pick was a random black rare, and then we had we took the juggler out of last pack. It completely changes what this pick is, right? If we had black rare and blade juggler, we're snapping vindictive vampire, no question. And as it is, now I'm looking at admonition, because it just seems biogenic upgrade is has underperformed. I don't really love this card. I'm going to take the admonition. Yeah, the gate's an interesting card here too, but I just want to observe that like I feel like we're a little too hard on ourselves about marrying our first pick like it's a bad thing. And of course, yes, marrying your first pick is a bad thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you take your first pick and it legitimately influences your upcoming picks, and that's why we end up in those colors a lot. Our first pick colors, that is. Man, this is just a juggler draft. If we'd moved in on jugglers, we'd have like 3 of our first 4 picks would be jugglers. As it is, nothing much here except there's an Open the Gates and a gate and a Gateway Plaza. We have a Gatebreaker Ram, and if we head towards 5 color lands, since we don't have any red cards yet, I'm going to just take the Plaza. You want to take True was interested in the Oligarch last turn and last pick, and that's fair. But I mean, again, I just feel like there's no shame in actually following the power that you're opening. I'm gonna take gate, but yeah, which gate was the question? I'm gonna take Plaza. Try to wheel this open. And yeah, we'll grab a Soroform hybrid here over the Azorius Guild Gate, but we do want to pick up random gates as we can here, both to increase our potential to expand this from Simic to 5 color, and also to support Gate Colossus and other gate payoffs. And yeah, I guess I'm okay with the Savant. It's pretty unexciting, but as a 2-drop, you know, fundamentally what I want from once a card gives me 2 power for 2 mana and no drawbacks, like, it immediately becomes potentially playable for curve reasons. And in this case, you get the Scry 2, which on turn 2 helps set up your early turn, which can be so important. And of course, late, every land you put on the bottom is like drawing a card. So yeah, we're going to take Essence Capture. I think it's a little better, even though it's got the double blue that's pretty oppressive. This would be an amazing card at 1 in a blue, but at blue, a little tougher. But you like Petitioners over a 2/1? Nah, I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. I like the power better. But anyway, let's take the Essence Capture. Got to be careful with it, though, when you have put +1/+1 counters on stuff. If you throw that on, for example, a Soroform hybrid, yeah, you make it a 3/3, but then it can't adapt. So if you do play Simic with Essence Capture, keep in mind that you really want to put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. We're going to take a gate here. I think it's better than any of the green-blue options, and there's nothing worth splashing here. Oh, I hear you, Funky. Yes. Sorry. The 1/3 Omen Speaker. I thought you were talking about Petitioners versus the 2/1. No, what Funky was saying is that in M19 there was a 1-3 for 1 and a blue that ETB Scry 2 that he likes better. So that's all. Okay, as for this, don't think we're really a Swirling Torrent deck. We could get a Mammoth Spider. I do like a Spider in a green deck in this format, although we are blue, which means we're likely to end up with some flyers of our own for flying defense. So I'm going to go with the Brawl over the Spider. Also, we are in green-blue, which doesn't classically have the most powerful removal. You need to get like fight-based removal and enchantment-based removal. And given that, we're going to go ahead and take a Brawl here. I do like the Spider a lot, and we'll probably pick this one. Ooh, look at this, though. Blade Juggler Wheels. That's just painful. Like, I think I just got an ulcer started here. Thanks for that, Blade Juggler. But might be too late. We're nowhere near black, and even though we could splash, I don't think we're looking to splash a Blade Juggler. You're looking to curve out into Blade Jugglers, not splash them. So I'll take a Spider over a Brush Strider. Yeah, I know, this is rough to look at, but I'm going to close my eyes and, yeah, close my eyes and pretend everything is all right. That's what we're all doing, right? Yeah, I guess I'll take a Sentinel's Mark. If we do end up in a, if we end up splashing white and we end up with like a Gate Colossus, Sentinel's Mark on a, on an 8/8 can't be blocked by 2 power is something else. So I think IGI really should go late. It doesn't surprise me. Like, IGI is a pretty narrow card, really, and it's very powerful in the right situation in the right decks. But yeah, Dead Revels is strong too. So black's kind of wide open-ish, ish. Maybe.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Well, thank you so much for that sub, Phil. Appreciate it. Let's see. If we ended up, I guess we'll take an Expose. Another Expose. Never playing 2 Exposes, though. Best of 1. Not a bad pack 1, all things considered. Looks like we're pretty Simic-y again, though. For what that's worth. And what's that going to do for us here? There's a Beastmaster that I find whatever. Applied Biomancy is quite good in the Simic deck. Slimebind, probably just better, though. And we can take this and try and wheel the Biomancy. Azorius Knight Arbiter, fantastic. And splashable. We could consider taking that, but I feel like our inevitability right now is about like Gatebreaker Ram, Zagana, and the Colossus we're eventually going to find in draft. I'm sure of it. We're going to find... we're going to finish with 2 Colossuses, right? Yeah, sure. We'll see. They're uncommon. They can show up. And all the bots don't really value them. So I'm going to take Slimebind and try to wheel Biomancy. Maybe Beastmaster if it comes back around. I don't care too much one way or the other about this card. And I'm not willing to lean into a splash yet when we have a solid Slimebind. If you are a gem drafter, you know, you can just snap up a rare. The opportunity cost of a Slimebind is not super punishing. I think probably your gem EV is better on a Gutterbones pick than a Slimebind pick if you're into the gem EV. But we're going to go with Win EV here in the Slimebind. Hey, Radar. Happy homework. Engineer is really quite excellent, but we're going to go ahead and take this rare familiar. It slots in at the curve and really does help the Simic deck quite a bit. Reducing the activated abilities of creatures you control in the Simic deck effectively means that things like Zagana...
I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you, comrade. So, like, Zagana only costs 4 to activate, that kind of thing. It's quite powerful. Maybe, I don't think we're going to wheel the Chillbringer, but Hybrid is the type of thing that will wheel these days. So we're going to take Familiar and try and wheel Hybrid and say goodbye to the Engineer. Wayfinder. I think we take a Wayfinder. Oh, sorry, Terramander. The treatment on the card actually threw me, and I didn't really recognize it as Terramander out of my eye, and I just saw the Wayfinder. But Terramander's quite good in the abstract, and it gets very good when you got a Familiar out, and you can reduce this adapt cost even further. Then it becomes kind of dragon-like. Well, the Esper, the Azorius is flowing here. Lots of Azorius. Well, we're half Azorius. Probably just want another admonition. Early on, I was like, well, Code of Constraint. I was trying to figure out which of these was better. This is better tempo in the sense that this can lock down a creature for 2 turns when cast. Like if you're being aggressive and you tap down Oppo's best blocker to get in an attack, it does it for 2 turns. So Code really does. I think Code is probably better if you're trying to go aggro tempo with your approach, and Simic is closer to that. But and you always get the card, it's true, but basically we always get the card from Arresters too. I mean, it's just upside if you want to leave it up as an instant, but basically I always cast this as a sorcery, and I think Arresters is better in the abstract. Code is better at being tempo aggro, and Arresters is better in the abstract, in a vacuum, So what do we want here? I think I'm just going to take a second Arresters. We are kind of tempo-y. Like, we could be the tempo deck that's just looking to lock down a blocker for 2 turns. But making them recast stuff is very, that's the big deal, right? Like, yes, this gives you two turns. This forces them to respend their mana. So that pushes it over the top for me. A lot of whatever's here. There's a Duelist, there's a Rendhorn, there's a Territorial Boar. Those are really our pick options here. Skyguard we could take and try and splash. We do have the Gateway Plaza. We can come up with another one. I mean, maybe that is a realistic consideration. Yeah, Rendhorn is probably the pick. Since we don't have, I was wanting to see our curve as well. We're actually doing pretty good on 2 as far as that goes, although this isn't real right now, and this probably isn't real, and this isn't real. But I think Splash Skyguard is pretty real, and it's enough of an upgrade over this Rendhorn that I'm going to spec on that. Because I do want to get, I want to get some more gates and gate payoffs. Here we go. We got a Gateway Sneak. Maybe, Splat moving into the white a little bit does give us some of this Azorius that we're seeing going by. Collision Colossus, interesting. But Gateway Sneak, Gateway Sneak here is fine. We got 2 gates. Time to pick up some more. Yeah, no gates here, but we do have an Aeromunculus. That's a fine pickup. All right, this is an interesting spot. We have a big riot creature that we could try and ramp to. We have Sage's Row, which I talked about earlier, and I'm happy to play. And maybe we're not as thick at 2 as I quite thought, so like a Sage's Row slotting in at 2 here would be all right. Clear the Mind, good for the more controlling side of town. The Azorius Esper decks love a Clear the Mind. We're trying to be a little more aggressive here. I'm going to go for the 2. And pick 9, the Night Arbiter came back, which says maybe Azorius. Gosh, can we just pivot to Azorius? Like, what's our green? Hybrid, Brawl, Familiar, Gatebreaker. I guess we have a lot. This isn't real green. Like, we could end up splashing Zagana. We could splash the green instead if we thought. Anyway, I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm definitely taking the Arbiter here. It's splashable and there's nothing else anyway. Chili Bee is a welcome sight, but perhaps even more so, the hybrid wheeling is a welcome sight, and maybe just says, look, just stick to Simic, man. I love a chili, and, we've got here.
All right, everyone, chill.
The meme value is real, but I think we want the amazing 2 here. Well, I think we found the right seat then, at least. And we can get another 2. This is a Trixie 2-drop. Crow Spiral, not actually that great in limited. Often it's just cycling. Sometimes it ramps you a little bit, but not always. But I do think it's definitely Growth Spiral or Duelist, and Duelist has been a little more useful than Growth Spiral. We don't need to ramp out to this. We just got to get there naturally and we'll be fine. A little low on gates for where I want to be with the Ram and the Sneak at this point, so let's keep that in mind going into the next pack as well. Spiral Pteramander is not the worst. Also, instant speed gate triggers are also not the worst, but I still think Duelist is correct, and we'll keep an eye out for possibly getting some more of those Simic cards later. But I just cut them. You know, they're just whatever. Here we get that code back, so we'll take that. Although if I did know we were getting this Fairy Duelist, I might switch them up, but might even be correct to go for 2 Duelists anyway. All right, pack 3. Let's get some reasonable times to find gate picks. Growth Chamber Guardian is funny because it's not very good in limited, but it's okay. It's a grizzly bear that adapts to a 4/4 is fine. It's not quite as awesome as it is outside of it. We're gonna wheel this though. So then is it Growth Chamber Guardian, Skatewing Spy, or Enraged Ceratok, or the Guild Gate? But I don't think this is gate time. Let me pull this one. I haven't pulled any yet today, but this is an interesting one to me because Guardian is underwhelming compared to Constructed, but still a 4/4 for 5 on installment plan is fun, is good, you know. And if you happen to get the Biomancer going, it's even cheaper. But whatever. Yeah, we're pretty low at 4. That's a great point for Ceratok and Skatewing is that we're empty at 4 right now. But let me go Spy for the Skatewing Spy and Enraged for the Big Duder. And I'm not going to even offer up the gate. I don't think this is a time to take the gate. If it were a Simic gate, I might consider it, or an Azorius gate. Like if it actually helped with the splash we're looking at, I would think about it. But I think in this case, our choices are clearly those 3. Where am I at? Might just be on Ceratok. I think Skatewing Spy is one of the, or maybe just on Guardian. I guess if I'm on Ceratok, I should be on Guardian, because Guardian is just like a 4/4 on installment plan instead. Interesting. A lot of people, so those of you who chose Enraged Ceratok over Guardian, why do you like this better? Just because it's 1 less total mana to get the 4/4? But Funky, the diminishing returns, fundamentally, this is still 5 mana 4/4 on installment plan, 4 mana 4/4 you need to pay up front. I mean, that's, and it has the no block ability. So like maybe it's the evasion that you find interesting. Skatewing Spy. I'm pretty down on Skatewing Spy, if I'm honest. And what does it really do for us here? I guess it makes flying hybrids, which is pretty good. And with Biomancer's Familiar, the Spy's adapt starts to become a little more reasonable. Third hybrid wheeling. Yeah, we are planning on third hybrid wheeling. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about this thing, getting a third one of these. I'll take the Spy grudgingly because we have the Familiar and we are legit trying to make things like Soroform hybrids fly. And that's and you know, and maybe we'll find other big beefies. Gonna get a third hybrid on the wheel. So, but you'll see that it's pretty darn clunky. You often play this. You look at your 4-drop situation, you go like, man, if I play this 2/3 on 4, it blocks nothing right now. So it's effectively like an enchantment, and it's an enchantment that doesn't do anything until I can pay 6 to adapt it. Yeah, Deacon Black. Often it can be a win more, but I will say in this case, sometimes making your Sauroform hybrids fly is not win more, it's break stalemate, right? So I will take it, but it's not great. I understand that I'm taking, like, and also if you're gem hungry, you take the Guardian, right? Like, this is such an easy gem pick. If you're in this for gem EV at all, take the Growth Chamber Guardian. It's fine. But we're gonna try this Gatewing Spy. Oh, that's a good point, Mike. Mike says each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter has flying. So you can just, if this is already a 6/6, dropping this makes it flying. Thanks, Mike. That's a important clarification. I'm sure others of you were thinking of that too. I have not looked at that card in a while, and I don't read cards around here. So still, it has. I think you all know what I'm talking about, who've played this format a ton, right? When I first saw this card, I thought it was going to be the absolute bomb, but it's actually pretty narrow. You want to chill again?
All right, everyone, chill.
Given the high playability our deck has right now and the on-color nature of this gate, I'm going to go ahead and take the gate. I'm sad about passing all this stuff. I like the Familiar, I like the Chillbringer, I like the Slimebind especially. Thought Collapse and Clear the Mind a little bit more controlling than I think our deck needs to be, but certainly, like, we would take Chili B here, if not the gate. Even if we're cutting the splash AVB, I want the gate. Looks like here we get a chance for another Ceratok, another Chili, Skitters. Now what do we want to do? Is this a Chili B spot or a Ceratok spot? We're low on 4s still, so Ceratok slides in nicely at 4, but Chili, keep passing Chili, and it's so strong. Yeah, let's go with the Flyer, right? For the memes, if nothing else. No real opportunity cost here to take the gate or the Open the Gates. We could take Open the Gates as effectively a gate, and we can go get the gate we want. Historically, these have tended to wheel, but I didn't see that other one wheel. I don't think we're going to necessarily wheel this one, but yeah, let's just take the natural gate. No red to splash yet, but... And sadly, I think we're past the point where we can expect to get any Colossus out of this. So really, our Gatebreaker Ram and Gateway Sneak are what this gate stuff is about. Although it's possible we end up with one of those Angels too, 6-drop Angel. Those can go... You take the Crusher, but we have Gruul and Plaza and Gruul Gate to potentially splash a Crusher. And plucking all these +1/+1 counters off stuff is pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm with people that we should just take a Slime. It's simple, clean removal, and we don't need to get fancy play. Although if the Crusher comes back, we'll talk about it. Yeah, Judgment, splashable removal, but let's take the removal that we would play even if we don't run our splash. Didn't I? I thought I... All right, fine. What do we got here? Let's go back to this view. Another Essence Capture. Skewer goes really late, and we do have the Gruul Guild Gate. We could just splash some removal. We have one Essence Capture already. Might just want a big duder here. Yeah, I'm with Rendhorn ousting the spider from the deck. Yeah, the Sphinx is a reasonable suggestion. But I'm going to take the Rendhorn here. Another Admonition. So really looking to get pretty tempo-y with this build as it's playing out. Another one. And yep, we had a pretty sweet Azorius deck that we could have latched on to, but I'm happy with where we're at-ish. It's not amazing, but sure, all the admonitions. Huh, it looked like we were in the right lane, and then now we see this. Maybe this just didn't have a lot of... This was our first pack. Oh, didn't it have a Biomancer's... I can't... We haven't gotten the... put a +1/+1 counter and bounce, which is too bad. I kind of wanted that trick. Maybe I'm forgetting and it's in an upcoming pack? Nah. Clear the Mind. I don't think this is a Clear the Mind deck, but you might run it just to not get ground into the dust by a grindy deck, but I think we just accept that if an Esper deck gets us to the end of our library, we lose. I'll take a Thought Collapse and probably not play it. Cavalcade is just Vault Progress, which is fine. Here we have another choice of a 2-drop or another Rendhorn. Are we happy with our top end? Let me take another Rendhorn. This is interesting. Might play that trick. Might play this. Maybe not, though. Yeah, if we can just cut the splash, we'll probably do that. 40 on the grind here. And then running a half-color gate for sneak triggers and ram support. Man, we didn't wheel any open the gates, nor any Biomancer's combat trick. Here's our distribution numbers, 15, 10. It doesn't mean literally not a single bot was Rakdos. For example, if the bot 7 picks away from the Fireblade Artist pick found something else, they could have been in Rakdos. Yeah, Hybrid didn't wheel. That was interesting. The other one did. And maybe we can cut one admonition or the code. Let's cut the code. And boy, we're going to be drawing so many cards. And we're topping at 5. You could really make an argument for going to 16 here just because of the 4 admonitions. And it's only the 4 admonitions. It's drawing so many cards. Like effectively at 16, you can operate on 3 mana, and then admonitions will help dig you out. We do have a lot of mana sinks. I probably shouldn't talk about going to 16 in Simic because we're trying to do things like adapt Zagana and adapt Gateway Sneak. Adapt hybrids. So yeah, we do have a lot of places to put our mana. Good point. So what do we like as a final cut? 1 admonition. We have the Slime Bind, the Brawl, the Stony Strength. We could just cut the Stony Strength, but it's kind of clever in that you can untap a surprise blocker, and with although it can be a non-bow, again, you don't want a Stony Strength your hybrid. Stony Strength your Skatewing Spy is clever and everything, but even that, like as pointed out, you know, you don't need to put the counter on the creature to make the other stuff fly. So I think I just cut the Stony Strength. I think it's the Stony Strength or one of the 4 admonitions. I guess it's one of these 2. I guess I'll cut an admonition and we'll keep all the lands. And I'm going to keep an eye on this though. Let's remember that I very narrowly kept this in and really just kind of wanted the 4 admonitions. But I'm going to give it a try, and we'll see if we find it more. That's the thing, right, Funky? Or maybe I'll pull it. All right, so I'll pull it. Do you want? Let's see. I'm going to go down to 39 cards. So we're looking to finish this deck. What are we going to add? What are we going? What are you adding? And then I'm going to go pull 20. admonition or stony? A creature? You can do other if you want, and I'll consider your vote. But for that'll just be. I mean, what creature will we be adding? Like a spider or a beast? Nah, I don't think I like adding either of these creatures in this spot. I think I'm gonna put in. I could have put code in, but I want admonition or stony for right now. So you can make a third choice to let your voice be heard. Oh, that's good. I love it when it's close. It means it was at least legitimate for me to wonder. So I'm going to bring in then Stony, and we'll just give it a try. I hear you, Deacon. I want to give it a try, though. Some variety in our effect. I might switch it later. It doesn't quite... Oh, we got to go back and... let's see, we got to name this. Stone. Let's make a either a weed joke or a rock joke. Full Art Lands from Craig. Speaking Stoned. Well, against flyers, we're going to have... Ostensibly, we'll have flyers of our own. And we have Chillbringer as a natural, but then, we have Fairy Duelist and stuff. We can... And Terramander. We can... You can... the untap clause is real. Like, that's how you get them, right? You can make a St. Patty's Day reference. Come up with a good one. Yes. And let me adjust this, though. Oh, wait. And we want this. Yeah. How about Blarney Stoned? What do you want, Craig? I'm going to choose for you. Art Deco. Oh, sorry, Krauser. Craig, you had lands. Okay, sorry. I'm impressed that I at least remembered correctly that you were part of the choosing. And did anybody pick the box? Don't know if anybody got box art, but we're gonna go. I guess we'll go. I like Blarney Stoned. That's funny. Tron, what do you want? Then I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then we're going to play. Actually, let me go do that. I'm going to bio break it up while Tron figures out the box, and then we are going to jam some games, and I'll get into deck building for you so you can gaze adoringly at this deck in the meantime. Be right back. Thanks for waiting for me, gang. I appreciate it. Are we happy with lands? It looks like the suggestion has it on 7 islands because of our essence capture. Is that correct? We do have Terramander on 1, and we're about even. So that's fair. I guess it's about even. And although, let's see, we've got the Gruul Guildgate that puts it back, so it is more even. 7. This is 7, 7. Yeah, it's split even. It's perfect. It's great. I like it. All right. And yes, you want Thought Collapse on the box art. And we're going to call this a deck. Oh, I want to also get it going here. We're going to get into Battlefield right. 1-star peeps, 5-star games rating. Hello, peeps. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. We're just getting started here. We have a Simic RNA deck, and I'm trying to get the deets adjusted accordingly. All right, that part's correct. Oh, and I'm going to go make a note of that result of the grind. We had 40 on the grind, right? And this is oops. Well, you're gonna mulligan this? Nah, this is great. Sneep. I dare you, play something. Okay, that was a good one. I'll give you that. Ah, you digging the Keyforge? I have not. I gotta be honest. I haven't played a ton of Keyforge in the last few months. I did try out the expansion, but I haven't like played Keyforge FNM or anything like that. Well, Oppo is sure coming out with the right things to thwart our admonitions, but kind of want to slime that later. I'm gonna give him a chance to spend first, although I guess it's free with the reclamation, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, and with Sage's Row, I actually like going ahead and playing the Sage's Row and admonitioning the Aeromunculus, but let's do this. Yeah, sometimes people play this. I don't love it. I wouldn't play it in our deck. I think it's a little bit... I don't know if it quite justifies the card. You know, it does some stuff with adapt, because it lets you adapt. You know, like Aeromunculus suddenly becomes really just a flying 3/4 for 4, you know. But it does cost you a card, so there's real costs to running that Wilderness Reclamation, and I'm not convinced they're worth it. No gate payoffs yet, and we're doing okay on land, so I'm gonna drop the gate, but we'll keep our hybrid. We'll find our 6th land soon enough. I'm gonna try this. They might have a counter spell. It's another good thing for Wilderness Rec is to play reactive spells. No problem at all for me that they used their removal on a card we already got value of. There is land number 6, so we're going to be able to hybrid it reasonably. Do we want to just let him have a turn with the engineer and then untap with admonitions to kind of undo their work? I think that's fine. We could also hybrid and just bounce the engineer now to keep setting them back. I guess when they've spent 3 mana to create ramp and you have 3 mana to undo it and draw a card while still playing a significant threat, that can become a 6/6 the following turn. That makes more sense to me. So I'm going to start with the attempt to bounce the engineer, see how that goes. And then drop the hybrid. So yeah, that's pretty good, but we do get to get big. I guess I'm going to send in the attack and see if they block. It could be a blowout for us. The trouble with committing to investing 6 mana into a hybrid into open mana is that, yeah, they could wreck your face, but they haven't shown any face wreckage the last couple of turns. So I'm going to threaten... I'm going to make this attack, which commits us to pumping if they block. And if they do block, it probably means we're in trouble. Because, right, if they block, it means they're going to set us up to pump and then respond. But they didn't, so that's good for us. And at 7 mana, instead of pumping the hybrid here, again, into open mana, we can go Renhorn and hybrid instead. And creates quite a suite of pressure for next turn. If we find a land, we can Slime Bind and activate a hybrid. That would be pretty powerful. No land, and let's see, Zagana, each creature controlled, so this already has, this we could give the Renhorn Trample. But basically, with these creatures out, if we presume no tricks, in order to get rid of a hybrid, they have to double block. If we send in everything, though, they can go block, block, and we lose 1 hybrid, but we eat their other thing. So what are we doing here, though? We can also... So I think I'm going to send in 1 hybrid in the Renhorn with Admonition and Slime Bind at the ready. And then if the dust settles, we will decide after that whether we are casting Zagana or doing some Admonition, Slime Bind, hybrid stuff. All right, so that's a little bit worrying. Okay, no, that's good. That just means they're going for the trade, so that's fine. We will try and offer for the trade. Let's see if it works. Well, at least it made it to 6/6. All right, I'm fine with that. Wrecking Beast is solid. Quite thick, in fact. But we can go, let's see, we got 7 mana. We can spend 3 of it to bounce, leaving us with 4 back, possibly a 5th if we draw a land. If we do, we get Zagana and Terramander. All seems fine. They're going to come up with a lot on the ground that's going to be tough to overcome, but we are about to get pretty big in the air. I was going to go, hoping to go Zagana Terramander, but with the Aeromunculus, we'll Aeromunculus Terramander, and that's a fine turn as well. Oh, they're going hasty, huh? Okay. This is fine. We're going to take a big smack here, but then Slimebind plus Zagana next turn is a fine sequence to reduce the impact of that Wrecking Beast. Should stop the wrecking. Stony Strength. I guess we'll find out if it's any good, huh? Would we rather have our 4th Admonition? I think both of them have some things going for it here. With Slimebind, we can actually Stony Strength work and actually eat the Wrecking Beast if we want. We'd have to use the Slimebind to do that, but let's see. Also, Stony puts a card in the yard for the Pteramander. Right now, Pteramander activates for 5 and leaves us with 2, which is enough to Slimebind Stony. And thinking, yeah, let's go. I like Mike's line. We we play Zagana and we get Stony and Slimebind up. That's an interesting draw as well. Not blocking with this Pteramander, really, or this Aeromunculus, so I'm going to swing both. But we're going to keep everything else back. And now we've got lots of flashy stuff here. Maybe I was supposed to send the Renhorn. Yeah, now I regret not sending the Renhorn because I'm not really taking advantage of the untap clause if I want to do the stated thing. Yeah, we can reduce. Let's go. We don't even need to use the Stony Strength, so we still have a chance to make the Stony Strength play work. But yeah, I like reducing the Wrecking Beast to a 4/6, and then trading it for the Duelist. I didn't want to block. I think we got him here, right? Like, they can have the Duelist. Mike wanted to play around bounce. Mike, I just hadn't seen anything from. They haven't done anything. Like, I guess if they had if they had bounce, they would have drawn it that turn. I wasn't going to play around something they would have had to just draw, I think. Well, it's funny. Glad we didn't need the Stony Strength Slimebind play, because with another Wrecking Beast, we need it again. Although it's a 7/7 now, so we actually have to put another thing back with it. Let's see. A lot of combat math now. We got 8 mana total. We have Zagana at 6, turning into an 8/8 if we wanted. And that's a good threat, right? Threatening an 8/8 against the Wrecking Beast. Yeah, we could send Zagana. They probably don't block, and then we can do the Stony Strength trick on Zagana. Mike, what do you think of attacking with Zagana, though? They're not going to block in the face of her ability. Well, maybe they would, but if they wanted to block with these two, we'd take that trade. And we have the Slimebind anyway. And still not blocking with the Pteramander. And I'm willing to risk the Aeromunculus still. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this line. We've got the tools in hand to make this work. So, should we trample? We can make Zagana 8-8, and then we look pretty weak. Yeah, Mike, we have a lot of lines to do on defense, so now I'm trying to decide whether we bother pumping here. We do want to try and get the Wrecking Beast with the Stony Strength on blocking, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. It means we're not going to get the Aeromunculus dead or anything, but we should surprise them pretty good with the Beast here, or with the Stony Strength. So, score 1 for the Stony Strength on the incoming clever play. It is a real clock, but we do too. All right, let's see if it works. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Dealt with 2 Wrecking Beasts, cast 3 times total. Oh, I haven't added this to decks. Oh. I need to remove a deck before I can add a deck. Just gotta decide how many decks to have, I suppose. We can delete this at least. So many decks. Oh, all these Historic Artisan. Historic Artisan can go away. Sorry, this isn't the best TV, but I want to make some room while I got it in my head to do so. Hey, Reset. Well, Throne is still kind of just the recent, is the previous to Theros set, so I think they're staying away from Throne for a while. Also, it had such a bad rep from a bot standpoint. I don't think they're excited to go back there right now. I don't know, it's probably 50 or something like that. I know, right, Jikerman? I mean, I've said if you're going to give me... I argued for a low count of save decks. Like Hearthstone only allows you to keep, 9 decks, or so, if you maybe 18 or something like that. But when talking about deck caps, we were talking about how much rope to give people. And I was like, well, we can give them a ton of decks if we also give them the tools to manage a ton of decks. That was my concern. Yeah, you can say a maximum of 50 or 100 or whatever, but then what tools are you giving people to manage them? And this is a little bit better. But yes, multi-select would be nice. I want to be able to shift-click and highlight all these and mass delete. What's up, D? Yeah, we'll keep this. Lead on a gate. Then probably Savant. Maybe we'll Plaza, though. Tend to want to get a 2-power 2-drop on 2 if I can. Riffin, okay, now with the Gateway Sneak, Plaza's gonna stay back until we can hook up the Sneak. Let's go searching for more gates. No more gates, but we probably want that Island, and we probably want that Slimebind. Island gets us to 5 mana and Rampaging Renhorn, although we might get there on our own. Maybe I'm supposed to ditch the Island. But it also provides us with a Essence Capture, although we're not going to leave this up. We're going to play Gateway Sneak next turn. But do we want to, Mike? I'm thinking we play Sneak, right? We want to get the Sneak going. So given that, I'm going to do this, Mike. I think we can be a little bit greedy there. We'll find our 5th land. And because right now we're going forest into plaza. That's our next 2 land sequences. Where are we at on what we're trying to do? I guess I'm willing to take a trade. I haven't thought through this fully, but I guess with the Gateway Sneak and Rendhorn, we would rather keep the board as clear as possible, so I'll accept the trade. Sometimes I don't always have a reason. I like to have a reason on whether I'm trying to trade or not, and really, Gateway Sneak is a good reason to try and trade. Keeping the board clear with Essence Capture and Chillbringer to clear the way for Gateway Sneak is a good plan. All right, they 2-for-1'd us there. Good use of Code of Constraint from Oppo. That's a good reason. That's where it outperforms Admonition in those types of situations. Yeah, if Sneak just has naturally good attacks and we draw, say, an island or whatever, we'll play that instead of the Plaza. Although, playing Plaza next turn has the benefit of then the 5th land does give us Rendhorn or Chillbringer. But using Plaza when the Sneak has a natural attack is a bit of a downer. They drew a card. Yeah, Sage for Code, and Code has this clever draw card clause. Okay, well, we got exactly the conundrum we thought. Although, actually, they have a block with the Senate Griffin. So we'll go ahead and use the Plaza. And we have Slimebind ready, even with the Plaza use, so that's nice. Yeah, it was also easy, Mike, because they actually had blocks. What was going to be sad is if we had a clean attack without the gate, but since we needed the gate to get the sneak through, it works out perfectly. And into another gate, excellent. Chillbringer may set up an attack with the sneak if they only hold one thing back that can block it. If they, okay, they're doing that, which makes me want to bind the Griffin. Since we can't Essence Capture anything anyway, let's go ahead and bind. I'll give them a chance to, whatever, do something instant speed before damage, though. All right, we'll do it here. All right. Would like to bind that Senate Griffin, but it's not the end of the world. We're gonna we're now free and clear to Chili the Mystic, get in for one free card. We get another free card next turn, so it's all fine. It's all fine. And you get meme value too. You gotta love meme value, right?
All right, everyone, chill.
Any life gain? No, we're not playing white, and there's no life gain in green, so no life gain. So, at 15, I'm going to go ahead and take this because Aeromunculus adapted blocks Senate Griffin naturally. If I didn't have Aeromunculus in hand, I'd go ahead and make this trade as well. And try to win through our bigger stuff on the ground. But since we have an Aeromunculus that's going to be able to threaten to eat this, we're going to try that at 15 life, because we're also at a pretty healthy life total. Yeah, also they have open mana. Pretty scary to be blocking into open mana. I like Simic Guildgate here, clearing the way for this. Although the sneak technically gets through here without help. But I'm very nervous about Oppo's 4 cards and 5 open mana. Very suspicious. Not expecting necessarily to get the sneak through the Wayfinder. So I'm going to go ahead and just play the gate. It's true, Mike. We can, although we can play Aeromunculus and have Essence Capture up and put the counter on Aeromunculus. I think I have 4 gates. I think we have the Gruul gate left. Mike and I thinking the same way about things here. And with that, with Aeromunculus and Essence Capture, I'm going to... Yeah, counter on Chili is reasonable. That's fair, because then we get 2 that are big. Then I'm going to leave Chili back, though, if you want to do it that way. I'm just going to send the Sneak. We got to be a little bit more careful about our life total. And then this way, if they try to cast something pre-combat that's a creature, we can capture it and get our Chillbringer going. Oh, maybe they have Admonition here. Brawl. Well, couldn't stop that, but they had to use... that was just a 1-for-1, so that's cool. And now we can follow through on our plan to Aeromunculus with Essence Capture up. Maybe. They're showing a pause here. Is it Thought Collapse? It is... We could capture our own Aeromunculus just to put a counter on the Chillbringer. But I'm going to let that happen, and we'll just play a hybrid. Now, though, I do want to try and trade for that Griffin. I think we're... Although we have Essence Capture, we could still try and get a counter on the Chillbringer and rule the sky. See what they want to do. 12 life. We're solid on life. Could take 1 hit. And then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, then we do have Rendhorn plus Essence Capture up next turn. That's not the worst either. They are really putting us to the test, though, here. Which one? They're offering 2 trades, Haj. Yeah, hybrid is great, but it doesn't require a big investment before it gets huge. And we do have something big down here anyway. So I guess our 2 cards might be better than their 2 cards. Haj and Mike like the blocks. I'm on the edge, but at 12 life, we can't just sit here and take half our life total trying to set up an Essence Capture play. So yeah, let's do it. See what they got. So Duelist is going to get 1 of them. Man, really rough. Just shields down at the wrong moment there, but we got to go Rendhorn and hope. Maybe could have just left it all up and gone Fairy Duelist with Essence Capture if they happen to Essence Capture something. Why do you not counter the counter on Flying Fish? Read Essence Capture and all will be revealed. All right, we're just going to save some damage here, although if their last card in hand is a creature, that kind of stinks, but also interesting they did not send in the eel. I'd think they'd be thrilled to trade for a Rendhorn here. Maybe... Yeah, why didn't they attack with the eel? They're at 18. I would think that trade would be a no-brainer. I'm going to go Duelist, though, and prevent some damage here. Ideally, we managed to untap, Essence Capture something, and put the counter on the Duelist, which then eats the other Duelist and trades with the Griffin, which should help us not die. Ugh, stupid essence capture cannot find a spot to get in. And now we're looking pretty grim, actually. We needed to draw some action there. We're going to get overwhelmed by eels. I still don't understand why they didn't attack with the eel. Especially with the second eel ready. Are they not reading their eels? Navanis, why aren't you crashing with eels? I just don't understand. Yeah, we're taking 3 for sure. And looking for answers. Let's see, what do we have left? We lost our Airmunculus, we lost our Chili Bee. Those are our natural flyers, I think. So what do we have to deal with flyers? We have Slimebind, Terramander. Arrester's Admonition can buy us some time. Skatewing Spy will get everything up in the air. So Skatewing Spy would be a good out. Land, not so much. Need something not land. Need Oppo to keep not attacking with eels for some reason. Some reason they don't like a trade for 5/5 for 5/5. Still not trading. Wow. Play a creature one time, please, Oppo. Ugh. All right, well, there we go. Admonition is going to allow us to capture and put a counter on the Duelist on the way down, or a counter on the Renhorned. Yeah, I guess let's counter the Griffin and put a +1/+1 counter on the Renhorn so that we have a Eel Eater. Well, I think Oppo was wrong to not be sending those eels, and now they've given us enough time to make them bigger than eels and holding the ground. Now let's see if we can find off the top to try and turn this corner. I thought we were donezo. But Admonition gave us effectively a removal for the Senate Griffin, since we had the Essence Capture in hand. Another Rendhorn. Better than nothing. And yeah, that helps with what Mike is just pointing out, that we are still very at risk to an alpha, but that helps a lot. Threatening to trade and eat an eel should keep them at bay. We need, like, Zagana would be nice. Again, Skatewing would be nice. Oppo continuing to draw lands while we continue to draw any kind of action would be nice. Not dying to a card I think is pretty bad would be nice, but we lost to it. Swirling Torrent, not a great card in the format, but that's the job it does have. That's the job you hire it for. It's just not a position I want open on my squad. You're serious, Razor? You thought the Eels had Defender? No, Oppo was just not attacking. For some reason. Oh, I see. That's what the slash was. I take people seriously if they don't give me their emote, because honestly, the things that experienced players would joke about being laughably obvious are the things that newer players just don't get. So I try to just assume people are legit looking for info. All right, this is good. If they go aggro on us, we have Slimebind Admonition into Speaker. Most likely we do nothing on 2 and had to have Admonition on 3, but this is a fine opener. Well, especially Timnos, because if that question you thought was a joke is honest, that person feels really dumb. You know, that you're joking about their legit question. So I just try to use caution there and presume people are being straight about that stuff. I'm going to hold the gate because we have plenty of land, and given that we have 5 land in hand, this gate seems more useful to me waiting for sneaks. I'm using this as a spell now instead of a land, basically. High alert on 3. Doesn't give us much to do, unfortunately. Should have played an island that at least threatens a counterspell. Well, pretty good, but actually I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Zagana here rather than admonishing that right now. I don't like the scry they get, but we can match them pound for pound. So let's do that and then have potentially both of these next turn. Lot of flood here.
All right, everyone, chill.
Whoa. I gotta fix my... Does that mess up the audio for you guys? Like, on my side, it's just... I think I turned off audio... I gotta fix it so it keeps doing audio even when I remove focus. I don't like the idea of slime binding the scry creature. I'm gonna start here. High alert, interestingly, does nothing for them right now. Yeah, that's a good point. High alert means Slimebind doesn't matter anyway. Mike cutting to the chase on this situation. We do threaten to get awfully big here. They threaten to crack back for a similar quantity of damage, though. We can drop a Rendhorn and trade with a Homunculus, though, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with Zagana. They won't block because of the threat of activation. Then we will Rendhorn.
All right, everyone, chill.
It's really tough to beat an opponent who gets a creature advantage and starts chaining Chillbringers, but we'll try for this trade here. Come on, deck. Oh my god. Yeah, they could have hit Rendhorn and it would have been quite good. Flooding out of this one. Oppo's got some great sequences here. I mean, this High Alert is countered our Slimebind and not done much more than that. But now we actually have to admonition back at Chillbringer, which is no good. It's the last creature we want to bounce, but we need to. We need to not take the damage, and we need to find alternative action, which at least that is. Sad times when you're bouncing Chillbringers, but you do what you must. And at this point, we must. Yeah, some additional common green enchantment removal would have served this set well for sure. Hey, Brian. We've been throwing chill memes around all day long.
All right, everyone, chill.
Well, not a bad draw as far as that goes. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We play this. We can adapt it for 7, 6, 5. So we can play and adapt even if we Gruul Guildgate to get the sneak through. So let's do that. Tron, this is a land. It doesn't have power or toughness. So according to the rules of the game, we can't actually attack with it. I'm just trying to take my chat seriously, you know. No bad questions. Just gonna activate now while their shields are fairly down. Alright, don't do anything to our Pteramander, and we have a chance here. A chance. Dropping Munculus and making it a 3/4 also doesn't suck against the Chillbringers. Right, Krauser? Yes, Fool, it does. Robert gets it. There are no stupid questions, only stupid idiots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. We can go Aeromunculus, Hybrid, and have the mana to adapt Aeromunculus. Right, and then, yes, we'll go like this, though. Boom, boom. All right, we're going to play it close to the vest here. Try and hang in. Try to adapt our unadapted stuff, get them big, and do something. This is annoying, though, and we have one Titanic Brawl or whatever, so that's kind of what we're looking for, right? Titanic Brawl. We only have one Reach Out and Damage You removal spell, and that's it. And now we're mostly dead.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Fair enough, Haj. Haj is pointing out that I can be threatening activation on Zagana if we'd be happy with that choice if they blocked. Do you get to... Let's see, if we draw like a flyer... If we draw the Titanic Brawl, we're not dead. We need a Titanic Brawl off the top, though. Not gonna do it, folks. Not gonna do it at all. So yeah, Haj, you're right that I missed some damage, but part of my mentality that allowed me to miss that damage was just realizing that we were just in this fight of our lives to not lose to the Flyers, and that if we managed to stabilize, we would probably just take over from there. I'm not saying I was playing correctly. I'm just saying that's where my head was. That made me not even consider those options. So I'm gonna do this and make them come up with the attacks at least. No, we can't. Unfortunately, Haj, the high alert renders the slime bind useless. So, unfortunately, we're just dead. But I'm gonna make him figure out, make him do the attack at least. Save all this mana because we have all this stuff we're gonna do to mess with you, Oppo. We've totally got this, Oppo. You're totally dead. Better think it through. I don't need to go full control. The adaptive nature of our creatures is going to create all the pauses we would expect. Because we're at 1 life and Slime Bind doesn't do anything. People seem to be forgetting that High Alert renders the Slime Bind useless, and that's what makes us dead. It's a weird interaction, I get it. Hey, they're thinking about it. We're not letting them have it easy. Because they know if we do have it, like if we have something to stop one of their attackers and we eat one and bounce off the other and like bounce the other and their board is empty. Granted, High Alert allows them to untap defenders, but we could threaten a heck load of damage here. But they figured it out. They went for it. Okay, so they got it. We can't beat that. Brian wanted to bluff the slime. Like, we could have put the slime out pre-combat, I suppose. Maybe that's a reasonable... I mean, if we're going for the desperation bluff, Brian is right. Like, we should actually show them the slime bind and hope that that encourages them to not bother attacking. That's the maximum bluff this situation play, for sure. All right, we flooded a bit there, and it was still pretty close. Oppo's deck was good, though. Coming up short with Simic yet again in this format. GG Rabbi, was that you? Just saying, yeah, we're trying to... I actually had a slime bind in hand, but your High Alert made the slime bind useless. But that's what we wanted you to think. Our only hope was to, our only hope was to make you think you might be blown out and cause you to not attack there. But you called our bluff and got there. Good work. Well, ostensibly this would be okay if this were an island, but I don't know about keeping this when we have no means to play anything until 5, and we're on the play, so I'm going to mulligan this. We'll drop a duelist from this hand and keep. Duelist not the best on the play because you just generally don't want to run it out there on 2. It just feels like you're not getting value. Like, Duelist does some stuff, but man, it is not good as a 1-2 flyer for 2. So, I don't know, to that extent, are you all going to play this? Do you want me to play this Duelist? Maybe it depends on what they do. If they play something where we feel like we could get Duelist value. All right, they're playing Cavalcade. That suggests small 1 toughness creatures. I'm gonna play it. I'm not gonna mess around. Cavalcade is tough to get working in draft, but it's not impossible. They may show us the goblin spell here. There's the create 2 goblins for each of the copies in your graveyard card. Kind of expect that's the time. I've done that like once, I think, when this format was active. I did a Cavalcade deck that had the Goblin Makers. Thank you, Goblin Gathering is what I'm talking about. And yeah, we're just going to admonition the Roustabout. Probably just go admonition and a Rendhorn and then Chili to clear the way for Rendhorn. See if Oppa wants to attack into this Rendhorn and signal a trick of some kind. If so, we'll respect it and just try to crack back the other way. Slimebind and Admonition as flash interaction means that if they try to do something to create a double block for the Rendhorn, we get to blow them out. And this may be what they're trying to do. There's the Gathering we were expecting. I told you. This is the card you play when you're playing that. But now we get to just... Well, let's see. If we send in Rendhorn, they almost certainly go for some level of multi-block. And if they... We can either win the multi-block via Slimebind or Admonition. So let's go ahead and send in. All right, they're going to do that. We're going to Rendhorn again. I mean, they're setting up for some real damage, but I don't know how hard they can attack us if we can crack back for 5 every time. So I think they're going to be trying to chump with these 1/1s, and then we can chill one of the Roustabouts. Yeah, let's try. I bet they go for a double block here with Roustabout and the 1/1s, or well, anyway, we're gonna attack and see. We got options no matter what they do. Oh, perfect. And familiar doesn't do much. Let's just bounce. Let's bounce Trumpeter. We just bounce the token, I suppose. Just actually kill something. This uses up their mana for another turn, though, and holds it back. You can make an argument for either one, but I like making them spend mana at this point in the game. Mike agrees, so it can't be too far off. Haj wants the token, so I guess we have Minority Report here. But so's Haj, so what's a guy to do? Well, this is what a guy is to do. Start here.
All right, everyone, chill.
Well, we're going to win. The game's going to end in the next couple turns, is my theory, Haj. And so if the game is going to end in the next couple turns, like, making him have to reset something and recast seemed good, too. I don't know. I don't know what the time traveling supercomputer thinks of that sequence. Mike wants to leave the 1-2 back. It doesn't change the clock, is what he's thinking. We crack in, one Rendhorn gets chumped, the other one drops into 5, then both of our Rendhorns are lethal. Thing is, Mike, if we do send in the Duelist and they go to 4, then we're lethal in the air. So it kind of does change the clock if, you know, it could have mattered. I think I like leaving it back, but that was somewhat interesting because legit chance that 4 power in the air is what mattered. True, Haj. Of course, if they had drawn something like expensive, then it would have been a good play because they would have only been to one spell. I don't know, maybe the sure thing removal of a creature was better. Thanks, Robert. All right, so I didn't see what anybody said. I'm trying to understand how audio is happening for you guys. Right now, I've put focus off of Arena. So in my ears, Arena sound is off. And if I go back, it does this big, almost like catch-up audio of, here's a bunch of audio you missed. Is that what you guys hear, or are you hearing the game audio right now? I'm curious. I'm hearing silence, and I'm curious if you are too. See, so now I switch back and it kind of comes all in. Not amazing, but I'm going to keep this. Okay, thanks for the feedback on that. We'll play an island first. We do have an essence capture in the deck. I'm going to go with the island because of that. You can go full control. I'm going to go ahead and bind it. I could wait until they use mana on it, but then, well, I guess I don't have a play for next turn, so I will. I changed my mind. It comes down to not having a play, though. If I had a clear 3-drop, I would play the Slime Bind now, but since we need to draw a 3-drop for that to punish us, I drew one, but that's all right. It was worth the risk. And hey, if the punishment is, hey, you drew a 3-drop you can cast, I'm pretty down with that as well. Well, I put full control, Mike, because I wanted them to think I was considering an essence capture, which would not have paused in that spot without it. All right. Got Airmunculus attack, and they don't have a block because we have the threat of activation. Maybe. I don't know what... let's see what white they have. All right. Do we want to do... Yeah, we'll just do this and then drop the skate wing here. Could do Gatebreaker, but it's actually pretty underwhelming right now without any of our gates, so let's just drop a skate wing. If they counter this, also not the end of the world, but it'd be nice to get a flying Rendhorn, but gotta try and play our spells. Mostly sad about losing the gate. So we could 2-spell or go with one of our big boys. I think I like a Rendhorn, and then we get into the 2-spell and Chili Bee situations. They may have themselves a hybrid next turn. We have a ton of admonitions in the deck, so I kind of don't mind if they want to activate that hybrid next turn. So I'm going to go ahead with the play of attack with Aeromunculus and 5/5 on the ground. All right, they do have threat of activation, so we cannot block. Looks like we have another reason we cannot block. Terry the Mander. And we can get Terramander and Chillbringer, or Terramander, Gatebreaker, and Slimebind. Maybe the Slimebind is a reasonable thing to keep up here, but if we do, we're kind of committing to using it. And maybe the hybrid gets the Slimebind after they make it a 6/6. Of course, I am hoping to find admonitions to reset hybrids. And we could just go Terramander, Chillbringer, the hybrid, or even Chillbringer, the Aeromunculus, and then if they want to get nasty, they have to invest into the hybrid. What do you like? What do you think we're going to end up binding, Mike? Aeromunculus or hybrid? All right, well, let's go. Let's at least start with the Aeromunculus attack. Looks like they're, yeah, they got a counter, but that's actually fine. That's the Gatebreaker Ram right now is just a 2/2, and it's not even that amazing in our deck. It's good enough to play, but it's not as bonkers as it is in a dedicated gate deck, so this is a fine result as far as I'm concerned. Again, worst result being the admonition going away. Man, almost need to Terramander the Sage's Row and Slimebind it, and we could win the combat that way, but I think we take the Sage's Row and Slimebind the Aeromunculus here. So we're going to take all of this and see what they want to do. Go to 4, likely. Hodge wants to Slimebind the hybrid. I guess that saves the most damage in the immediate, and we can make the Aeromunculus big enough to deal with theirs. And it does save the most damage. Okay. Yeah. Yep, then we can chili the flyer and start getting somewhere, we hope. Huh.
All right, everyone, chill.
It wasn't working for some reason. Yeah, we're not blocking with a Pteramander, so we'll swing for 1. And we want the Aeromunculus back to threaten the Sage's Row, and the Chillbringer for the 2/6. Hey, Kelmer. How you doing? Titanic Brawl. We haven't seen you all event. Nice of you to show up. Does this mean we can do something, though? Not really. We can't brawl the hybrid. We don't want to brawl the Aeromunculus. And adapt, save, brawl seems fine. I'm a little worried about their open mana. But let's start with Pteramander attack. I think with the brawl, we can justify even Chillbringer attack as well, potentially, but nah, let's just attack with the Pteramander. I want it, at 6 life, I want to keep back a defense. And yeah, we can even activate this and still get the brawl mana. Mike would like us not to die to bounce. I'm in for not dying to bounce. This pause from Oppo is intimidating, but they have an Aeromunculus on board, so it's likely just that pause. This is an instant, so we can do it on their turn as well and just hold it up here. Yeah, Rendhorn is going to be our fighter. And we might have to. I don't want to block the Aeromunculus. So if they send in with the Aeromunculus, I'm going to go for the Titanic Brawl here. But if they don't, it probably means they are likely dead to this stuff. And I'm going to go for the... Yeah, I'm going to go for the Brawl here, because it just sets up lethal. I think they're holding that back, because right now we're presenting lethal. So let's see if lethal is real. Let's see. If we send all of our flyers, we give ourselves an extra out. But if they have an answer, they just have an answer to the Pteramander, and sending everything doesn't give lethal with an answer to the Pteramander. So we're going to just present lethal in the Chillbringer and the Pteramander, leave the Aeromunculus back. All right. So it cut our clock in half, but it's still a good clock up there. And we still have Aeromunculus back on D, which I like. I just didn't want to risk, just not having any blockers back and them doing some stupid pump spell. Boom, we're dead, All right. They did not find it, though, and we get to keep playing. made to break even at very least. Now we're going to seek more wins than losses. Trucking along. Keepable. Birdie. This makes me think of Crucible of Worlds. What is this? Are these kind of? I mean, I know it's not an actual hourglass. It's just the art makes me think of it. I don't know. Is this an actual card art, or was that made just for the sleeves? All right, perfect draw. And then now I just want some lands, I guess. We'll mix the lands and spells wouldn't suck. No peeking. Yosef trying to end my run. Look for more coffee. Land is good. We want to get to these Rendhorns, so we're going to need that land eventually. And Oppo not presenting any defense is good. Maybe they'll play something we're happy to slime bind here. That would be ideal. I have no other play for turn 4, so rather than slime bind just because we can on 3, I'm gonna... Well, maybe we save it for that even. Regardless, we're gonna decide here. Luzrog off the top. Comes down, 3-3. We're not gonna be able to... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use it now. We're going to just try and race that Lizrog with our own big 5 drops. And so we're going to offer the the combat winning slime bind here. Rendhorn beats Lizrog to start, at any rate. And usually stays that way, but... I mean, yeah, I guess if they play it next turn, it's just going to be a 3-3. But if they eventually... They could do some counter stuff first, was what I was thinking. But yeah, right now, Lizrog is pretty bad. Yeah, I was thinking, what was I thinking of? I think I was thinking of the one in War of the Spark that gets counters from planeswalkers as you play them. Yeah, good point. Hasty 4/4 is starting to seem pretty real. Admonition will be good for next turn. We're going to leave the hybrid back, send in the Terramander, and drop a Rendhorn. Oh, Mike was saying hasty. Now my heuristic for these is so much to put the +1/+1 counter that I've already advanced towards combat. I kind of like one of each though anyway. But you're right, Mike. That was just bad habits. Or not even bad habits, it's good habits applied at the wrong time there. But I'm not gonna compound it by like not playing this or something. And next turn we might draw a land, in which case, Mike, I'm gonna do it again because we want to threaten hybrid activation. In fact, maybe if we do that, we should just activate the hybrid. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, fair enough, Mike. Oh, this is interesting. We can probably just keep Essence Capture up if we want. Although, yeah, we didn't find a land. I'm gonna keep aggressive. We'll protect with Essence Capture after this. I'm gonna do the 4/4 now. Could even offer him the hybrid, but hybrid will be worth keeping around, I think. Slimebind from Oppo. If they do, we can admonition our own thing. Admonition plus Essence Capture is interesting, especially if we can find one more blue, because with 3 blue, then you get Admonition, their thing on your main phase, and Essence Captured on the way back down. As we approach that, yeah, we could just do that now. But if that's it, Mike, if we don't find an island though, we give up on that combo. I'm a little more with Hodge's play of just go haste again. And if they want a 2-for-1 themselves, that's fine. I'm with Hodge. I like this play. Look at their 13. They don't have good blocks here. Like, they can trade if they want a 2-for-1 themselves for either of our Rendhorns, that's fine. Maybe we even send the hybrid and say, look, if you want to eat the hybrid with the eel, I guess eating the hybrid with the eel is too good. We'll just do this. I think this is great. Their pressure is so high right now, and we get admonition for the follow. Welp, we're just gonna bounce the big one, counter it on the way back down, and attack through the small one. Although, am I overthinking it? Let's see. We have force blocks here and here, and then 6, 7. We can't just kill them. But we basically trade, eat, and get them to 1. Is it just lethal? Wait, so then if we admonition the 5/5, then they block this 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't see lethal. I don't see lethal, but maybe I'm just doing the math wrong. Regardless, I'll bounce and swing, and maybe I'll understand why after. It's forced chump, but we don't just win, is my point, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Mostly dead. I just didn't see the win. Let me know if I did miss it. I'm curious, because I didn't see it there, so maybe somebody else saw something I didn't. Good game, Yosef. Close. Well, maybe not close. Kind of got on the front foot and kept you on the back the whole game. Yeah, it's effective lethal, but not literally lethal that turn. All right, 4 wins puts us above 500, and now we're closing in on. This is a big gem prize bump. Get a 200 gem bump in prize if we can pull off the next win. We're on the play with nothing to do until 5, but a perfect even split of our colors. I think I'm going to pull this one. I'm curious where these can be very tricky mulligan decisions, and I'm curious where chat is at. If we are up against aggro, this hand is terrible. If we are up against another slowish deck, this hand is fine. We have a lot of 2s and 3s in the deck. We're likely to find action. And if we do find action, we can cast literally all of it. But if Oppo gets aggro and we get unlucky, we could just be staring at an empty board, our side of the board empty, while they crush us. Nobody wants to mulligan. Chat is as greedy as I am. Okay. Sure, Nantuko. Going to play an island because we do have essence capture. If we draw an essence capture, we're really going to want to be able to play it on 2. And hey, look at that. That's why we kept, because we have so many 2s, we were just likely to find something to play here. Stony Strength was our last ad. It was 4th Admonition or 1st Stony Strength. We decided to go with the Stony Strength to have a little variety in our interaction. You want to play against this deck specifically, Nantuko? Duelist. This prevents the damage, but we don't need to use the Stony Strength because it doesn't actually create a trade. And they're not blocking anyway. Best of 1. I like for challenges to keep it going through quickly. I'm gonna go full control now. If they cast a spell, I want them to think we're considering countering it. All right, Skate Wing, I'll take it. It's another thing for us to do on 4, but I am going to attack first. There's a possibility we need Stony Strength here for some reason. Oh, you're right, Mike. I didn't need to pause because I had the Stony Strength up. Mike's right. Quench? I mean, maybe this is Quench. If not, why haven't they snapped it off? Well, Coolio, we did one yesterday. I just put it up to a vote. Yesterday Theros got the vote. Today, RNA got the vote. So just stick around and come early and be one of the voters. Might bring Skatewing Spy back later with one of our many admonitions. Here, I'm going to continue following our plays that we've done so far, which is Rendhorn into Chillbringer. Yeah, too bad we were tapped out, but what are you gonna do? I was tapped out, right? Yeah, I'm win. Let's go haste again. High alert, deck alert. I mean, not that you don't play Azorius Knight Arbiter in any deck with plains and islands in it, but one of the key cards in the high alert deck here. That being said, let's chill up Yield Arbiter.
All right, everyone, chill.
Brian points out that Skatewing Spy still gives things with counters flying. So we can throw the Rendhorn, throw a Stony Strength on the Rendhorn for that. Ooh, hello. That's a good point, Haj. I continue to not think through my attacks before playing stuff. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna have 7, so we can Rendhorn and attack, but this is a little annoying. Ooh, cool. All right, well, I'm going to take the turn off of attacking, I think. I'm going to Rendhorn for... Rendhorn for a counter. And then we're going to leave Essence Capture up with no attacks this turn. And then we can throw a counter on Chillbringer off the Essence Capture. And threaten Lethalish. Next turn, play a creature, play a creature. No creature to play. All right. Still, we have very good attacks. In we come. They're chumping, good news for us. We have Slime Bind and Essence Capture, great news for us. This beast is freaked the freak out. This beast is like, what am I doing up here? Oh, that's pretty nice, huh? We can Stony Strength to get that back. And unfortunately, it doesn't give us a lethal block on the Spirit, but it does give us a block, so I'm going to make it. We want to do this anyway. Also might... Oh, wow. We're a lawless town. Let's go with Slime Bind on the Knight Arbiter, since that's not blockable. Binding the 3/3 reduces the most damage right now, Mike, but I feel like binding the Azorius Knight Arbiter gives us the most damage prevention long term. So I'm going to do that. That's familiar. All right. That's fair, Haj. I am calling this as a possible a likely high alert deck, but they don't have it right now. Hard to say. Although here I am taking an extra 2 now. So far, the idea was we'd draw a creature and have a block for this or whatever, but so far it's looking like maybe my choice was not correct. Although, what are they doing here? Guess we just sending him to 1. Swing both? I mean, they just block here, right? We're never going to not get them to... They're never not going to block. Sure, you're just... Mike is hoping that we get something to Essence Capture. That's reasonable. I suppose I was thinking we might want to chump with the Familiar if we think that's our, you know, our safety play. I mean, I assume there's something they could flash in, but here we go. That got it done. Huzzah! 5 wins for our team. Well, they're not playing green-blue, so they wouldn't have been Frilled Mystic. All right, nice. I'll add the win, and then I'm going to go and take a quick bio break and be back to close this one out. And then I promised, was it Nantuko that I'm playing? I promised somebody. We'll figure it out. Anyway, here, I'll let you look at the deck for a sec, and I'll be right back, okay? Hello. Challenge waiting from Nantuko. I'll get to there. But we're going to finish up this event first, of course. Happy to be at 5 wins. This deck is not amazing. It's got some solid cards, some good synergies, but hardly the best deck I've ever drafted in the format, not even close. So really thrilled to be at 5 wins. I'll take any more we can get, but a fine start for us. This is solid. We want to get one more land so that we can go Familiar or Duelist into Sneak, into Plaza, make Sneak unblockable. I'll probably just do this one, Nantuko, and then we can tack our game on to the YouTube video. Hi, YouTube friends. How you doing? Ooh, Sage's Row, maybe even a better 2-drop here. Help us find that land we're looking for to sequence it the way I want. Aggro Orzhov. That could be rough, but let's go with a Savant now. Although, actually, maybe we save Duelist because we can go... now, Duelist can't block and eat anything here. And Familiar isn't actually doing anything soon. 2-1 blocks the Panther. 2-2 blocks the White. Blocking the Panther is good enough, right? And we really do want to set up that land for next turn. So I'm going to go with the Savant, mainly because we really, really want a basic land next turn. And there it is, and we'll keep the Admonition behind as well. That's a fine follow, especially when you have a Sneak. Admonition plus Sneak, they're good buds. Oppo doesn't want to trade the Panther for the Savant, so they're only offering the White, the unblockable White. Such a great combo. The White is difficult to block profitably, and the Juggler rewards you for that fact. But we're going to go drop this Gateway Sneak. It's a nice play because next turn we have Gateway Plaza, pay for it, and then Familiar or Duelist or Brawl. A lot of options next turn. Interesting. I'm going to offer the Savant for the Juggler, but I am not, we don't really have an, this is a free attack. I mean, this is how good it is, right? We just can't block the White, but we'll offer Juggler for the Savant, see how that goes. Yeah, White eats both of them, so there was no, White, that's just how good White is. Not bad from Oppo, but at least they can't take that Plaza, and they can't take both of our 2-drops. So we get something next turn. Unfortunately, they know the Duelist is coming now, so I like Plaza. And this is actually a tough, because like we're going to draw a card. If we draw Essence Capture, we're going to want the double blue. But if we don't, we might want to play the Familiar over the Duelist. However, I'm going to play to the... We also might find a hybrid, though. There's actually more in our deck that we'd want to cast for green than blue. So I'm going to risk... Now, of course, this is going to like guarantee an Essence Capture on the top. But I'm going to keep the most spells possible for us to cast. It's fine, though. It was the right thing to do. We have all these other spells to play. But we at least thought about it. I like it when we think about it. So now they know about our stuff. What do we... They know about the fairy. I'm just going to play the Biomancer. We might even just try and block the white with it. Although getting a counter on it is nice. Although the white's so good, like, you need 4 toughness before you can block the white and eat it. So what do we want to do here? Taking the white damage. They're also stuck on 3, it looks like. I don't want to give them another possible Blade Juggler, but I think the Familiar is too good here for right now, so I'm going to say we'll take it. Yeah, as Mike points out, we can get to a place where the Duelist... It's telegraphed because they know we have it, and also the Brawl telegraphs it a bit, but... Let's see, we could Admonition the Precinct, but that doesn't... We could Admonition the Precinct and... Or Admonition the Twilight Panther and Brawl the Precinct. That doesn't really do it either. Yeah, I guess we just hold 5 here. I was trying to find a way to get the sneak through right now, but I think we just wait. Essence Capture could be amazing. Oppo saying we got nothing. Should we be trying something here? Let's see. No adapting. We try brawling, but we lose our stuff. We could Duelist and then brawl, huh? Let's brawl the Precinct. So we go Duelist and then Brawl Precinct. Mike wants to kill the white. You just want... I'm worried about this Precinct getting out of hand if they start actually casting stuff. But maybe we can do the Admonition Essence Capture play. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to Brawl here, because then we have Admonition, Hold Up, Capture. So now, do we want to Admonition, or do we just let this all happen? If we Admonition, what are we getting out of it? I think we just let all this happen. The sneak wasn't really gonna get there quite anyway. And then we have Admonition Essence Capture next turn. Pteramander. We'll get back to you later. I'm going to go with Admonition. Which one do we want to counter the most, though? Precinct or Plague White? Precinct spits out these 1/1s, but we're largely trying to win through the air eventually. You know, Pteramander here. So maybe we don't care that they're going wide here, and we care about the fact that they can attack in with the Precinct. Mike wants the hero. So does Nantuko. Okay, we can do that. You can see what I'm concerned, though. Like, there's a way in which Plague White is more oppressive to this board than the hero is. All right, Slime Bind is nice. We're going to Essence Capture. Pteramander is going to have 3 instants and sorceries in the yard to make the Adapt cheaper. This makes Adapt cheaper anyway. Well, Duelist won't hold back the white this turn, but it's a good play in general to hold it back. They're getting aggro. We can't block either of those. They get 3. Really start to turn a corner here if they don't have any more action. I mean, they've been playing great on 3 mana, but sometimes when your curve is low enough, this is perfect, right? Because they have all this action, although who knows what action is in their hands that they can't cast because of their mana situation. Gatebreaker Ram, not the worst. Terramander, not the worst. Let's see. So Terramander 3, 4, 5. It's going to cost 3. I say 3 because Biomancer is going to reduce it a little bit. So we can Terramander and then have 3 up to do it. Yeah, we could triple spell. Wait, how do you triple spell? You're going, oh, these 3, sure. Is that worth it? Say no attacks and Terramander. Yeah, okay. I was just trying to figure out if we were trying to squeeze the Ram in. Dropping another 3/3, not the worst, but Terramander with activation is pretty scary for Oppo. That's true. Well, the Ram dies also to the Panther. It can't really attack. We just want to get our big dragon going, right? Argument is Slimebind even, but yeah, we'll just get big. And we can keep in mind, we can adapt a second time and add more to the Terramander. But yeah, we can, let's see if we, yeah, right, we can do this and still have Terramander. Tap Familiar, activate Terramander, so this all still works. We have both of these, but we can, if nothing else, reactivate Terramander. They have to deal with Terramander right now. Oh, well, guess what? We get there. I don't know if they didn't see this. I think I added right. Didn't I add right? Don't want to do that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think they can have anything that kills us, so I'm just going to take this. I didn't even mean to put the block on. I was just looking at it, and then it did the auto snap on. I saw the note. Yeah, for any of you who didn't see it, if we block the Oligarch, it gives him a block to the Terramander. I didn't even mean to put the block on. It just, I touched the creature, and it locked them like magnets. Nice! Some days Magic feels easier than others. This deck did not super impress me when we left the draft, and it showed it with, like, the... Didn't we start 1-2? I think we started 1-2 and have rattled off 5, so... Classic Spains, I guess. Alright, let's get 7, and then I'm gonna get 8, and then maybe 9 by crushing chat under my boot heel. I love crushing chat under my boot heel. Well, bring it, Mama. Shut me up. Somebody can shut me up. Give me a dose of humility. Sad to have both our gates up front because we do want these for eventual sneak purposes, but we're going to keep. You can go Pteramander on 2. Don't worry, Nantuko, there are lots of resources for you to manage your upcoming sadness. Can give you some links, some phone numbers. I bet your mom's willing to call you. They're going aggro. I'm gonna be telegraphing here and see if they notice. Like, I mean, it's somewhat obvious duelist, but we're gonna give it a try. I don't know, they have open mana, so this could go bad for us as well, but I'm gonna try. Ooh, they've got a pause. That makes me scared. What is this pause about? Should I still block? Now I'm afraid we might get blown out. Because if they have a +3/+3, it's a 2-for-1. And we're pretty happy with this one. But I've locked into this. I'm going to make him have it. I'm really nervous, though, because they did show the... Well, maybe I can be disciplined enough to look up what the tricks are. So what are instant speed RNA tricks? Let's see what we're up against here. Yeah, it could be Storm Strike, Scorch Mark, Burn Bright. No, yeah. Well, it could be a lot of stuff. I'm nervous enough now that I think I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna be happy that we have. I changed my mind. It's the arena pausing. Like if they'd showed no pause, of course I would have snapped that off. But they paused. There was a pause. They had instant speed. Like when you literally know your opponent has something they can do at instant speed, unless they have decided to full control. I just think you should play around that. So I changed my mind, and now it goes Zagana, and that's fine. See what they can come up with for that. They attack again, it kind of confirms the presence of the trick. Yeah, so again, though, I'm going to wait. We're going to just take this. And I'm perfectly fine to get into blocking situations with them when I have Titanic Brawl and Arrester's Admonition and Slimebind available, but I'm not going to do it while tapped out in this spot. And now I kind of want to leave everything back, because we do have Slimebind, Titanic Brawl for the double trick situation, potentially like winning combat against the Brush Strider and one of their other threats. So let's see what they come in with now that we are prepared a little better. Nantuko wants to race. Seems rough to try and race against this situation. But I like... Trouble is, we can't. If we brawl, it's going to be tough to win. Like if we brawl with Zagana, she's gonna die to anything she blocks, which is the tough part of it. So we may need. Boy, I gotta. This is a tough spot. We are at 13, facing obviously a good deck. They're at 6-2 as well. I was going to set us up to use potentially 2 tricks, but we're in a spot where 2 tricks doesn't actually work well. So I'm going to instead block, again, changing my plan after the fact, and But I think... Well, actually, we could... Yeah, I'm really sad I didn't attack with these now, but I'm going to do this. And now we'll go with the brawl play here and here. And looks like we did have the double block. There was too many possibilities that I didn't want to do the double because I didn't know for sure that we weren't going to have to use the admonition. That's the thing. It was preparing to possibly use the admonition that caused me to not set up for this damage prevention, but I am going to throw this here and prevent a couple of damage. Definitely sending the flyers this time, and we can send Utopia if we're willing to send back the hybrid on the Arrester's admonition, but I think they're 2 mana away from being able to pump the hybrid. They've used the trick we were worried about. I'm going to just attack with everything and play the Aeromunculus, and I think the worst case is they use a removal spell and get us for 4. And if they use a removal spell and get us for 4, I can live with that. We can recover after that. So I'm going to send all here and try to catch up a little on the race. And make them either have another trick or removal, or else they get stonewalled by the Munculus. And if they go attack in, maybe we block anyway and make them have, you know, trade for their trick. Again, if they use removal, not the worst. Free memes.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
Now this just looks like a suicide attack to get the, because they don't want to lose to the Flyers, maybe? I'm going to call it, though. Cool. Found 5th land. We can Rendhorn here. They're staying back. We could also, if they go for the double block, just blow them out here. So I'm going to do that. We're actually go for the no draw admonition. And if they, for some reason, don't block, we can drop the big 5/5. But I'm okay, they're doing it that way. So we'll drop the big 5/5. If they want to spend the whole turn on the hybrid, they've got nothing else. 6, I think, for the, yeah, Zagana is 6 on the adapt. So now we will send up the Arinx. Maybe even elicit... Oh man, Duelist even says Zagana gets to live. All right, gang. I didn't par pull this one, but I doubt even Mama would have guessed 7 on this one. Yet here we are. We'll claim it. Simic can totally get there. I like the format because all the 5 guilds can get there. You know? We're going to keep going, though. Do I have my... Oh, here, I'll re-challenge Nantuko. Oh, where is it, then? It says I've got... I think you have to cancel your challenge, Nantuko. There's something weird going on. There we go. I suppose it is appropriate that we played green on St. Patrick's Day, right? Maybe that's our St. Patrick's Day stipulation. We have to play a green deck. Worth keeping? Yeah, it probably times out some of those challenge requests. Just gonna go with Plaza here over holding up Duelist. Peggy Sue. Just gonna send it back. I'll basically do that on turn 3 to anything. And then we get Zagana on 4. Although, maybe not Zagana on 4 into the open mana from the Azorius deck. So I'm going to try Aramunculus instead. And go ahead and give that to Nantuko to counter. Well, we're losing all of our gate value, so Gateway Sneak needs some extra help to get through. Let's see. Do you think he plays Quench? I hope not. I'm going to play Rendhorn anyway. Uses all our mana, and then we can 2-spell next turn. Not Quench, but a perfectly serviceable Essence Capture. I should, given that he knows what's in our deck, I really wish I had not let auto tap screw me, because I want to hold up 2 blue to represent the Essence Capture Nantuko knows is in our deck. Kind of hoping that Nantuko does get activation mana, because then the Duelist is Trixie. Well, so much for that. I'll do the first one. Keep the second one hidden. Sneaky. I'm going to save the Fairy Duelist now as a trick for the future. Well, right now we're winning the race. But not when he plays his 1/3 flyer here. Dove in. We're diving in.
There's no accounting for luck.
What does Dovin even do?
Will hold. My inventions bring joy to
1/1
me
flyers. Sure. Oh, what's this one? He went minus, plus. Until end, whenever creature you control deals combat to a player, put a loyalty. Okay, so they're just looking to go up right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna duelist, and then we at least get some action onto Dovin.
I must have miscalculated.
Is Dovin played by John Oliver? And as a side note, can we get John Oliver voicing over a Planeswalker?
A gap in my defense. I don't enjoy seeing things suffer, but I'll make an exception for you.
It's no good. We do have the Slime Bind to win combat if he puts both Pegasus and Token on the Duelist. So I'm going to continue sending, because we bind the 1/3 and kill the 1/1.
If that's your best, I needn't worry.
All right, land. Useless card. Don't play any spells. Nantuko. Just relax.
I constantly seek to innovate.
Kind of want to land. Then we get Slime Bind plus Soroform activation. But obviously, don't get a land, then we have action. I mean, now we're going to get like a gate, which would be the worst draw. Essence capture. That seems like it'll come in handy. But if we intend to Slime Bind 4, 5, 6, 7, we cannot Slime Bind and Hybrid. But it only really punishes us specifically if he blocks Hybrid, a Panther on Hybrid, and 2 flyers on Duelist. At that point, we accept we lose a Duelist, we activate the Hybrid and win combat against the Panther, and then we're pretty set up for the turns after that. So we could do it that way. What do you think? Mike, are you ready to give up a Duelist on a double block to pump the Hybrid, or are you leaving the Hybrid back here? Because we could also leave the Hybrid back, and then we probably have this stuff up, since we don't need to Hybrid this turn. But let's do what we can to get rid of this Walker, huh? Can't just sit here taking Thopters forever. The other thing we could do is Slime Bind the Panther. Then we don't lose combat there, and we still have the Essence Capture. But yeah, trample with counters, that's a good point. Oh, yeah. Severian is reading the cards, and I'm not. We have Zagana plus Hybrid equals dead Dovin by adapting, assuming Oppo has no response to the Hybrid. Great remembrance there, Severian. Because that's what I would have done. I was going to decide to do that. It just would have surprised me that we got Dovin. But when Nantuko comes back, pretend we all knew what was going to happen. We all knew. He was the one who didn't see. All right, need a little more help to get much done around these parts, but Essence Capture, the Duelist, even that doesn't get anything done because we still have a 1-3 flyer we're squaring off against. That will be telling, Foil King. All right, not amazing, but I don't know what else to do here besides counter what we can and try to make something bigger. Doesn't really change anything on the board. Maybe that's an argument to not do this, although it does give them, it starts to give them attacks. Starts to give him attacks. I can say him, it's Nantuko. I know who this is. I have successfully internalized that I don't know the gender of my opponents for the most part, but sometimes I actually do. Oh, activated abilities can't be activated. Gotcha, okay. Well. Style points. Well, we do have a lot of activated abilities and stuff, so I'm going to keep playing lands. Another hybrid is a fine draw, except when your opponent has their umpteenth thought collapse. Ugh, lost our Gatebreaker Ram, another one of our good outs. What do we have left here? Oh, untap GG not helping me much. Let's see, I guess my last... my screenshot will, though. That's not the right screenshot, Ryan. All right, sorry, just getting my deck list up so I can keep an eye on what we're hoping for. Really just want any of our other arresters admonition. Admonition here would be great. We can unlock some of our locked down stuff. We only have 2 of the 3 in the yard, so we got 1 more admonition at least. Land, really not what we're looking for at all. Not at all. Ugh, that's brutal. I feel like if we can just turn the corner quickly, we can get there. But as soon as we let Nantuko draw extra cards, like insight into insight is effectively GG. I can't, and especially since he's going clear the mind, so his deck is mostly gasoline. Going to be very tough to win from here. We need to have gotten super lucky about what Nantuko found with those 4 draws, and we need action now. Now. Savant is action-ish, but I really like the Scry 2 here. And there's our Skate Wing that we're going to do our level best to get going. May Slimebind, the Pegasus even, depending on what they come up with here. I think we're doomed, though. This is probably some number of counterspells, given their heavy thought collapse content and the... Yeah, I'm going to Slimebind now. It'll also... There's no way they have nothing. I mean, this is just like... I think we're doomed, folks. But if you're on Team Nantuko, this will be good for you. I just don't see a world in which Skatewing Spy resolves here. If so, I did something right in some life. Well, if Nantuko cannot counter this with 5 cards, he should quit Magic forever. Shocking, shocking, shocking. There's our last admonition. That was kind of our win. I think we're done now. Like it does, Wind Raven, like it does. CTM is amazing if you can get secure enough to cast it. The problem with CTM is that at 3 mana do nothing, if you're up against aggro, it can laugh at you in your hand. But this format is slow enough that that's not generally how it plays out. All right, Nantuko, I'm going to give this one to you, buddy. Good work. We have no means to get 25 damage in before 4 cards, even if those three of those 4 cards were like the best cards in our deck or something, which they were not. GG Nantuko. Somebody in chat had to beat me at some point besides Tron. I guess we'll accept that. Good game. Nice job. Nantuko had just the right goods to stop our attack long enough to do the inevitability thing that Azorius is so good at in the format. This looks great, though. Playing an island in case we draw the counter spell. Yeah, it looked hot. And we're going to go hybrid here. It looks like we're doing some cross-format action. I like it. Yeah, we totally knew that. We were all laughing at you, Nantuko. We're like, there's no way he remembered that this thing is going to get trampled. No way. We are outsmarting him completely, and we're just like, watch him fall into the trap. I called it. It was great. It was like, I said, watch Nantuko totally space on trample, and we're totally going to get him. And then, boom, we got him. It was great. Don't go look at the video, though. I just told you the whole story, Nantuko, so you've basically got the feel for how that went. You can just let it be. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't need saving. There was no need for saving there. I'll tell you the truth, Nantuko. I was absolutely going to execute the exact play that I did. The whole time, that was my intention. The fact that I forgot that it was going to trample is a different factor, but I was going to do that. Like, I mean, check the tape. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, Nantuko. I mean, I forgot what I forget. You know, it's like... All right, anyway, sorry, back to this. We are looking at a Phoenix of the Ash, Incendiary Oracle. I didn't block in the assumption that I'm, like, kind of trying to race here. With these double admonitions, I think we are, but let's drop a sneak this turn, actually. I'm going to take a little bit more beating from the red creatures here, because I'm not going to block the Oracle with the sneak, since it's just giving up the sneak. But I like what we can do from here. Next turn we can go Duelist Savant, or have Savant and have Duelist ready, which is pretty interesting. Ah, that's the part I don't like. It was all good until the lamp ad, but we're gonna go Sage's Row, check our top of our library, stay back, be defensive a little bit here. Terramander Forest, what do we think of that? Probably don't need the Forest, but we'll keep Terry. With the double admonition, Terry could be good. Are we looking for anything else specifically? I'll keep that. And then I do like our Fairy Duelist spot here. Shrinking the Oracle doesn't really do anything because they can still pump it to trade with the Savant, which is what we're going to try and do anyway. So I'm really just going to shrink the Phoenix to save some damage on this turn and try and trade off the Sage's Row. I actually like Admonition on the Lampad here to get the sneak in. And then we have Terramander at worst. I mean, it's not going to block the Phoenix or anything, but I don't think we're like straight dead to the Phoenix. They can spend all their mana to make it 6 power, which is not enough to kill. And then we can Admonition again, Admonition it if we want later. Slimy is nice for the Phoenix. Oh, sorry, I should have attacked first. I was thinking that was the draw off the sneak. In my mind, we were going to draw 1 extra card, and when we drew it, I was like, oh yeah, that's our extra card. It only would have mattered if we wanted to play a land and potentially bind. Gotta take this one. Ooh. I'm gonna go Admonition on Anax. And we came up with a ETB untapped land, which I like ahead of... Well, we could take 1 more from the Phoenix, I suppose. Especially if they want to do Anax again. I changed my mind. I'm going to do the gate here. Get in with a sneak. And do I want to get in with the Duelist? Because we could leave the Duelist back, and we could put Terramander and Duelist on the Phoenix and make them... Yeah, also I'll leave it back, and we'll try and trade for the Phoenix. Omen is a blowout, but they're using up their turn for this, so maybe it's still okay-ish. Here we get Chillbringer, or if we want to double spell some other way. No good way to double spell other way, so we'll Chillbring, and then next turn we have Zagana Gate Ram. Yeah, I've been changing my plan a lot today. You're right, Nantuko. I don't know if that's a failure to think through all the way. I mean, that's probably what it is, right? I'm just a little loose on my planning, more so than usual.
All right, everyone, chill.
He would like to ask you a question. Seven gives us Rampaging and Slimebind, Zagana and Ram. I like rampaging as something that can fully eat the Anax. Phoenix can rise from the ashes, but not yet. How many does it need? 3 other cards. But I do have Slime ready for that. And I like Chillbringer. Attacking here. If they go for Phoenix, we can Slime Bind that. Again, we're trying to handle Anax with the 5/5 on the ground. Would you not have attacked with the Chillbringer? Where are you guys at on Chillbringer attacks here? Feel like we're trying to get there in the air with Chilly Bee. Maybe we need to throw this Slime Bind down to max our mana. Okay, well, we get the best of it all. Stony Strength, also interesting. Ooh, and a Brawl? Hello! Now we get 2 attacks, right? Basically. We get Stony Strength for the untap, Brawl, it's all coming up. So let's see, if we strengthen, we can strengthen the Rendhorn and Brawl the Lampad. Yeah, let's Brawl first. I wasn't down on it. I said it was not my best. I mean, there's some mediocre stuff at the low end. I think it's just okay, but maybe I'm underrating my own deck. Oh yeah, I need to update my record to the 7-2. So, can we get there from here? They've got, we got Trample 6. Yeah, I think we just win. Yeah, 5 is fair. Maybe it's that good. But and one more win. Look, if I can't troll Nantuko on my own stream, what am I even doing here? Here, I'll leave the official record up. See you, Pocket. All right, that was a fun stream, everybody. Good time to call it a wrap, though. Let's find a raid target, shall we? Amazonian, alias, let's see. Let's see who's doing what. My buddy Jim. I always like to... you know what? I'm going to raid Jim. I'm feeling like raiding Jim. So this is my buddy Jim Shepard, who codes his indie gaming on stream. This is not gonna. I'm not gonna raid you to magic. I like raiding Jim because he doesn't usually have a big audience, and it's fun to drop a reasonable sized audience on him. So that's what we're gonna do. Lots of other people drafting. If you want to check out Ben S, Amazonian, Lord Tupperware, there are drafters out there. But let's make Jim laugh because he never expects this, right? You know, he's streaming to 20 people. Let's drop a huge load of people on him and make him chuckle. And if you're a programmer, or if you're interested in programming or considering getting into it or whatever, you can watch a very, very seasoned indie game programmer do his thing right on stream. Okay? All right. We'll see you guys.